All right, we're here in Hastings, England at the Battle of Hastings, and we're going to take a look at Gary Young's Sunday Odyssey build. So Gary, we've got your signature frame, the Wavelength. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and what your bike generally encompasses?
It was important to me to have like a bike that you can kind of ride everything. That's what I've always kind of been about. With Sunday, like our back end started getting shorter and shorter, and like I was finally like, hey guys, we need something with a little bit more in the back end. So this one is 13.5 to 14 for the rear, and around 20.75 up front, and everything else is kind of modern geometry, but it just has longer of a back end. So when you're going fast, it's more stable.
So overall, you would say that this bike is just meant to be an all-around machine, meant to go fast. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so.
So in the spirit of this being an all-around machine, I noticed that you have the Odyssey R32 Forks.
I run the R32 fork, and basically like if you're going fast and everything, it makes it so it's less twitchy.
There's a lot of pedal options out there these days, and I noticed you are sticking with the classic Odyssey Pros. Why?
The pins have gotten so much better over the years that I have like a good pedal feel, like coupled with the waffle cup van sole that you just... Also, like when you come to doing grinds, like the difference between like when your like pedal hits a rail or something with a metal pedal versus a plastic pedal, like these things you can get through a lot more.
So you feel like you get the feel of a metal pedal pin with the convenience of plastic pedal grinds.
Well said.
There it is. There it is. So let's talk about your pegs. You'll grind anything, anywhere. Explain what you're running, your hub guard situation. Everything looks really smooth and like it's designed to be together. So explain that setup.
I run the Sunday Sealy pegs, and the hub guards just come with the hub. So it's just stock, whatever comes with the the Odyssey Vandero front and the Clutch V2 in the back. Over the years, like growing up in California, you hear a lot of like talk from skateboarders about like, oh, your pegs are breaking everything. And so worked with Odyssey over the years and like, hey, let's just make it so it's like not a thing. And so I can ride anywhere, and my bike doesn't do any damage to like anything that you ride. So like it's really nice when like somebody that's like, hey, bikes break everything, you're like, nah, that doesn't happen anymore, bro.
So why only 3 pegs?
I run 3 pegs because that foot comes off in the back every so often. It sucks if you get it caught underneath. So with the 3 peg setup, I've learned to just use my back pedal on the right side as a second back peg. And so a lot of times like I'll do switch over grinds, and it'll just be front peg and opposite pedal, and same with like downside grinds, and it works pretty well to the point where I'm like, I don't really need the 4th peg. I like the idea of 4 pegs, but I feel like I ride way slower, and then if I take my pegs off altogether, it feels like I'm on a race bike. I don't know. That's my comfort zone.
So the Odyssey Super circuit tires have been kind of new on the market. They seem to be really hot right now. Explain those, what size are you running, and how they feel.
They're awesome. They fold and they're super light. Dennis, he just got on Odyssey, and he's like, dude, this completely changed my whole setup. He's like, I can feel like I can push further and the whole deal. They're super lightweight, they're durable, and I run 2.4s, which over the years, like my tires have kind of been getting bigger, and on these older joints, it's kind of nice to have the cushion of the big tires.
I can relate with that, the older joints. Okay, so I noticed that to me, it seems like your tires are backwards. Is that true? What's the deal?
It is. Years ago, like Taj had like a thing where he's like, hey, if I run my tires backwards, you get more traction because it kind of like shovels in and like grips as you go. And I've always been a fan of Taj, and I'm like, well, if he says it's the way, then that's the way.
You've also got the Gary Young signature grips. How did you come up with this design? What's the deal?
They're ergonomically correct, kind of like goes up and down for your hand. Just makes it so when you get like that first like hand feel, like broken in grips, but they're out of the package. Oh, most importantly. Yeah. I got the valve caps. It has a little Huey on there, so they're pretty dope. It's Albert Mercado's like little art thing that he does. Okay. And Huey's usually somehow attached to all of the drawings, and he's riding a bike at some point.
Awesome. So supporting the boys. Yep. Gary, always a pleasure to have you out here. in Hastings for Battle of Hastings. Watched you crush it for a few years now and looking forward to seeing you do it again. This looks like the perfect all-around vessel to get stuff done in the park, in the streets, and good luck this weekend.
Many thanks. Appreciate it, dude.
SourceBMX.com. Go on there, check out the bike builder. You can see Gary Young's full setup. Click on it to get more specs, availability. Yeah, just find out the name of stuff. Yeah. Check it out, SourceBMX.com.